On lake docks and decks, the Pelons have a stunning lakefront cabin, but they want to be closer to the water.
When you're down at the dock and you forgot something, and we're doing rock, paper, scissors, so you have to go get it.
They want a more functional space beside the lake where they can entertain the whole family all day long. And I'm gonna build it for them.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
I love it.
I'm Simon Hirsh, and for 23 years, I've been building lake docks and decks for my clients. Today, I'm going to meet the Pelons at their incredible lakefront cabin.
Back when I was 20 years old, bought a piece of land and built a little cabin with some friends and just enjoyed the place. And then kids came along, we sold it, but always said we'd come back. And here we are. So this resort was for sale, I'm gonna say 2008. We repurposed the whole property from a sort of a high-use property to a low-use, beautiful property.
It was his dream since I met him, building a log cabin around an amazing fireplace, and that's exactly what we have. That's 33 years ago he told me that, and here we are. As soon as I walk in the door, I feel totally different. The stress level goes down. As soon as we get here, it's like vacation. I mean, we see our kids more than we normally would because of this gathering place. So everybody meets up here and we have a great time.
What I like most about this lake is how private it is, and you can kind of sit at the end of the dock and not see a boat pass for 20 minutes, half an hour.
We've got a brand new granddaughter. We're grandparents for the first time. It's really exciting. And we can't wait to see her running around down at the beach.
Since we had the baby, we definitely need to make this a little more kid-friendly because it was definitely geared towards teenagers and adults. So it's a nice transition for the family, and I think having everything down at the dock would be ideal.
To bring food down, to bring drinks down,
Really hard.
use the washroom, all kinds of different things. It becomes a bit of a trek.
Right now, it's not a good place for entertaining because it's very inconvenient. There's quite a few stairs, so it is constant. It's exhausting.
I met Randy and Catherine about 10 years ago. They asked me to design and build them a home on the lake here, and we've been working on it ever since. What's important to me when I'm creating a space for a client is that the design is unique, the products are unique, the materials we use are not your everyday lumberyard product. Vacationing and lakefront living in general should have a luxurious element to it, and I'm always trying to design to that and give them something a little different.
We built this patio here out of some of the remnant stone from when you built the house.
Right.
Put these treads in to add some space here, but it doesn't stop us from having to go all the way back up there to get things. So we brought electricity to the dock, and we want to put in, I don't know, a cabana of some sort.
So Randy, Catherine, you have this fabulous patio up by the cottage, tons of space up there. What's the big draw down to the lake? Why could we not utilize that space? What makes you want to come down here?
For me, the beach. The beach is huge. The boats are down here, the water. Everybody seems to always want to be down here. And it's also very hot up there. Like to sit up there, it's very hot, so it's nice to be near the water.
So the daytime entertaining
Yes.
all happens down by the
Yes.
water.
Pretty much.
Everyone can swim,
Yes.
use the boats. This is where you want to spend your time.
Right.
But we definitely need to get some storage down here.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be running up and down these stairs all day long.
Right.
I'm thinking if we could walk into the space and have counters on both sides, we could have two purposes. One side could be, you know, for the fridge and sort of the entertaining area.
Yeah.
The other side could be more for storage, maybe. Would something like that work?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so if this is going to be our new outdoor deck space by the lake here, maybe it's getting a little tight. Perhaps we could fill in the space between the dock and the deck so that it's continuous all the way through. Give you a little more space.
Also bring that straight through so that it connects here.
Exactly. We'll bring the line all the way in.
Yeah.
So now you can walk straight off of the stone deck right onto the dock. But I think that would give you a huge amount of space to entertain on
That's
down
awesome.
here.
Nice.
Great.
Very smart.
Add that to the list.
Let's do it.
All right. So you've given me a lot to work with here.
Yep.
I'm going to try to put some of these ideas together.
Okay.
And come up with a design and see if we can meet all your expectations in,
Great.
In one beautiful building.
Well, that's what you do best is the design. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're going to do here. It's pretty exciting. We're anxious to get it done.
All right, we'll get right on it.
Summer's here.
Randy and Catherine have given me a $35,000 budget and a 3-week timeline. My plan is to build the Pilons a kitchen cabana so they can bring the party down to the waterfront. I'll match the look of their current home by building it in a log cabin style. And I'm going to extend their waterfront so the family can take advantage of some unusable space, creating a fire pit and a lounging area. The big challenge here will be to figure out a way to do as much of the work off-site and then bring everything on-site and quickly build it. We want to show up and have all the work done ahead of time and put it together all at once. Today is our first day on the Cabana project for Randy and Catherine. The first step is to unload these logs from the truck. We're gonna crane them over to the yard, unwrap them, and start prepping them to be cut. Right now, we're just leveling the truck. We're gonna drop the outriggers, get it stable, unstrap all the logs, and start unloading. All the timber for this job is being measured and cut at my lumber yard. I love having control over this aspect, as the design relies on getting the right wood for the project. We're using Western red cedar. It's resistant to insects and rot. This softwood timber is around 60 to 80 years old. Hopefully they're all 8-footers, yeah, so we can pick the two nicest ones.
Yeah, these ones are just bigger flares.
For our front feature flares, that'll go out. So have you figured out which we're gonna use for our main feature logs here?
Yeah, I think we picked these two top ones for the back, and the bigger flares are on the bottom, so maybe put them out front.
Okay.
They got the bigger toes, and they're a bit bigger around, too. These are about 22s, and they're about 24, 25 inch.
Perfect, perfect. We'll hide these in the back.
Yeah.
And then we'll use this. This will be our exposed side here.
Yep.
Cut in the corner back here.
So roughly cutting that out.
Yeah. We're deciding what parts of the character of the log, or the toes as we call them, we're gonna keep. So we're gonna decide what we're gonna cut off and what we're gonna have exposed. And we wanna pick the nicest parts for the front of the cabana. So what we're doing right now is we're picking a center on these logs. You have to use your eye and sort of look at the shape and the bend of the log. Then we're gonna put a bolt in here, and we're gonna mount it on a log spinner, which allows us to spin the log and make a line to level it all out. Okay, Chad, can you go and get the skid steer, put the forks on it, and then we can load these up.
Sure can.
We'll roll it.
Okay, right there. Stay there.
Good.
We'll hold here. Yeah, that'll be nice.
You guys are going too fast. Go back, go back. So what we're doing here is we're marking a level line to cut the bottom of the log off so it sits level on the ground, and this has to be perpendicular to the center line that we just marked.
That'll be line up. Pretty good, eh?
Yeah, we're
Nice.
good. All right, guys, slowly. Yeah. We're gonna now measure 6 feet up for the length of the log, and we're gonna mark the top cut. So when we cut both ends, we have a nice squared off 6-foot post. The process of preparing these logs for the gazebo is very tedious. We have to be very careful with every cut. If the lines aren't square and level, when we put everything together, it won't fit. So it takes a long time to get this to work. Now that we have all the logs cut for the cabana, I can't wait to get them over to the homeowners and start piecing it all together. It's so close, man. Randy and Catherine have a stunning lakefront cabin, but they need my help creating a functional space near the water, which they can use for storage, food prep, and entertaining. We've cut all the timber for the wood frame cabana, and it's arriving on site. Now comes my favorite part, construction. We built the whole cabana off-site, and now we're just gonna try to back them down so we can get as close to the patio as possible to set it up. Come out just a little bit. That's pretty Okay, we've got one of our side walls up. We've got a back wall up. We're gonna be dropping another wall on this side, and then we can wrap it in the logs. As the walls go up, the boys discover a little bit of a problem. So, our wall is a little bit long. We're just gonna pull it down and trim it back. It'll be fine. Problems with pre-building something off-site is sometimes you get little misses. Easy to fix, though. Okay, let's stand it up. Now we've got everything just pinned in place. We're not gonna put all the screws in yet until we make sure that the logs fit perfectly. Still good?
Yeah. Pin the bottom.
With the walls squared up, it's time to get the logs off the truck. I'm gonna spin it around and then just stand it up. Each one weighs about 600 pounds, so we have to be really careful. We had to cut out these corners to wrap around the shed. So for shipping, we leave them in to help stabilize the log and make sure the edges don't get damaged. So we're gonna swing the log in. It has to rest on that little lip, and then we gotta detach the crane and push it in by hand for the last bit. Okay, down. We're trying to fit this giant 3D puzzle together. It takes teamwork, skill,
You good, Chad?
and a little bit of luck.
Good, Simon. Looks good, though, all right?
Okay, Paul, you can go down. Maneuvering these 600-pound logs into place can be dangerous. It's important to get them anchored as quickly as possible.
I'm looking good.
I'm good.
Watch your fingers.
This is a time-consuming process. All the pieces have to fit together perfectly. It's so close, man. But sometimes they need a little bit of encouragement. Try now. After a bit of persuasion, we have a perfect fit. Another day at the Pilon's lakefront build, and the roof and siding have been added to the cabana to finish off the look. With the cabana nearly complete, it's time to get going on the other parts of the project. The 200 square foot addition to the dock. We're welding new steel beams to this structure, under the existing dock. Each beam gets clamped before getting welded into place. When building a large structure like this, it's critically important to get the measurements and position exact, because once it's welded, making a change can be really difficult. While John finishes up the welding, I get to crank up the saw and cut some steel. We've made a lot of progress, but our deadline is fast approaching. The dock structure is done, and the boys are laying the deck boards. While Chuck works on finishing the interior, I'm going to build the final piece of the exterior, the door. We're almost at the end of our 3-week deadline, and I can't wait to see what Randy and Catherine think of the design.
We managed to get. Wow, that's awesome.
wow.
That's
I
pretty cool.
love it.
Looks great.
Randy and Catherine have a beautiful log cabin, and they asked me to build them something that would give them storage, a place for food prep, and to keep drinks cool near the water. I designed a timber frame cabana in the style of the cabin, giving them more functionality, and we're extending their dock to create even more entertaining space. This dock extension gives an additional 250 square feet of living and entertaining space. We're using cedar to deck the pile-driven dock, and Dwight is scribing the planks into the rock edging of the patio. This will open it up so that the area will flow onto the dock. To finish off the cabana, we're adding 2 levels of live-edge cedar shelving. It will run around 3 sides, leaving space for a fridge to fit in the center. While the boys work on finishing the cabana and deck, I'm heading back to my workshop to start on a surprise project for the pylons. Randy and Catherine really need some stable, permanent furniture they can leave down by the lake on the deck. So my idea was to carve some big, heavy stump furniture out of these cedar logs. It's great, it could just sit out there, weather naturally, it won't blow in the lake. Now we have to do a little more carving to this thing, and when it's done, it's gonna be a fabulous throne for Randy. I think he's gonna love it. This is about a 100-year-old cedar log stump, so it has lots of character on it. Now I want to add some shape to it, make it a little more funky, a little more into what Randy and Catherine like. So we're gonna do some carving and round some edges and then smooth it right down. This is a bit of a tedious process because you're carving a whole chair out of a giant tree. It'll take some time, but it'll be worth it in the end. A few more cuts, a little bit of hollowing out. This should be pretty good. You can handle this. It's a long but satisfying process. I really enjoy creating a functional object out of a natural material like this. With our deadline fast approaching, I've got to load up the new chair and get it set up on the pylon's new deck area. I really think they're gonna love it. Now, I'm not sure who's gonna get the throne, but you guys can fight over that.
Well, that would be me.
That would be Randy. Randy's the king.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a few more of those.
The pylon's lakeside cabana has been a lot of work, but we're finally finished. Try now. I stuck to our budget of $35,000 and the deadline of 3 weeks. I think it's gorgeous, but let's see what Randy and Catherine think. Well, the weather hasn't been cooperating, but despite that, we managed to get everything
that's
done.
awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's great, isn't it?
It looks like a miniature of our house. Looks great.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
When you need dock storage in a place like this,
Yeah.
it has to be fairly dramatic, I figured. So your dock storage box ended up being this beautiful cabana.
That's fantastic.
There's got all the log details. It's got all the rustic timber details.
Yeah.
And I think we've packed all the storage you need inside here. Let's just take a look.
Luxury storage. Wow, nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so we get the
awesome.
fridge that we wanted. So now we don't have to go all the way upstairs to get stuff.
Lots of shelf storage.
That'll help
Yeah.
a lot.
Put a blender in there.
And secure storage, you can lock it up. You can leave stuff down here when it rains, like it's about to now, or
Yep.
other times you can just throw everything in here. And it's cozy, too.
Yeah, very nice.
That's great.
It's almost like a bunkie.
Bunkie cabana.
Yeah, well done.
Certainly a heavy-duty structure. I don't think any storms are going to blow this thing over.
No, I don't think so.
Built like a tank.
Fantastic.
We've also filled in the extra dock space, which has made a huge difference over here, I think.
Wow.
You can walk straight out.
It's awesome.
Tons of seating.
It was way too tight there. It's perfect. I love it. And I love this, too. I love how it...
Yeah, the guys,
Flows.
we've scribed the dock boards in as tight as we can
Yeah.
to the rocks there. It adds a really nice feature.
I like it.
I like
Beautiful.
the transition, too.
Yeah, me too.
You know? It lets you see the difference between the stone deck and the wooden deck area.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect.
I think it's really blended in well, and I think there's still a great area over here for your fire pit.
Whoa, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Look at the chair. That's pretty cool.
I love it. Love it.
Matches the big logs at the front of the house.
That'll be the king's chair. That's your chair.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I thought
Very
you might
cool.
like that and want a whole bunch more of them, but you know, we got one of them made. It's a lot of carving, a lot of sanding.
Is
and,
it ever?
Try it out, try it out.
That's pretty cool. Very nice.
I wouldn't mind a few more of those.
Now that is a chair that won't blow off the dock, that's for sure.
That is very cool. Love it.
That's fantastic.
That's so our style.
It's such a better use of the space because this came on an angle before, as you know.
It was very
And
crowded.
it just adds a whole new dimension to the dock space.
Well, the water was quite shallow in here, so it wasn't really a swimming area either. So now I think it looks really
it's
nice.
perfect.
The
Perfect.
beach is the dedicated beach area, and this, you've got a lot more boat parking here too.
Yep.
You know, you can park all the way down the sides, bring more boats in if you need to.
Yeah, that's true too.
And I mean, this dining area, it seems to make so much sense now that you can have a dining area there, sitting area out at
Right.
the dock,
Yeah, I
fire
know.
pit here, everything accessible to the cabana to service it all. It's really improved on what was already an amazing space.
You built such a beautiful house. You know, there's no doubt that this would turn out great.
And it was nice to be able to put some finishing touches down here like this.
Thanks, Simon.
Thank you
Thanks
very
so
much.
much. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
I feel this was a great success. Randy and Catherine's reaction was perfect. They seemed surprised, and I feel like we've exceeded their expectations. And that's the goal. You know, it's one more beautiful part of this project, and it's just fabulous to see that.
My first reaction was how easy it's going to make life. I love the deck. It's a great layout, so I was very excited. Now, instead of being up and down the stairs all day long, I'll bring everything down in the morning and we'll spend the day at the lake, which will make life a lot easier.
And there's so much space on that dock now that you could have literally 30, 40 people if
Yeah,
you needed to.
exactly.
So now everybody can hang out right at the water. It's pretty nice.